What's up, guys? Hope you're doing amazing. Hey, on this video, I want to share some of the key insights and takeaways from our seven-figure agency member intensive. We just wrapped up last week. We had several hundred agencies, really the top digital marketing agencies, niche focused from across the country, as well as hundreds of agencies virtually on Zoom. And we get together 3 times per year with the idea of helping digital marketing agencies grow and scale. We're on a mission here at Seven Figure Agency to help 500 agencies go to 7 figures over the next 5 years. And really, we've expanded that to 7 figures, 8 figures, and beyond, because we've got so many agencies at 7 figures at this point that the percentage is higher and higher, that we have agencies at 7 figures that are already niche focused, and they're really focused more on how do I continue to grow, how do I continue to scale, how do I continue to put the systems and procedures in place. So if you're excited to hear some of the key takeaways and insights, just type takeaways in the comments here, and I'll dive into this and make this as actionable and practical as possible. But really, everything we do at the Seven Figure Agency is designed on how do we help agencies land more clients, deliver better results, retain the clients that they get, and scale, put the systems, procedures in place so they don't have to do it all themselves. Really with the main objective and the main thought process of how do we make more money so we can pay our bills, live our desired lifestyle, have more freedom, so we don't feel like we're tethered to the job. We really have the flexibility to do the things we're good at, spend the time with the family, because who cares how much money you have if you don't have the freedom and the flexibility. And then ultimately, impact, like knowing that we're not just on a cash grab, we're not just selling clients and kind of tricking them, but we're really having an impact because the clients we serve are getting great results and significant return on investment. The team members that we employ are growing and they're developing in their career. So it's about money, freedom, and impact. And every time we get together at Seven Figure Agency, we get together 3 times per year. Most of us live in Miami, but we've got a great contingent that can't make it, so they log in on Zoom. Really, we're focused on moving through these stages of agency success, right? And sometimes you start out, it's startup, right? It's less than $10,000 a month in recurring revenue. We're just trying to pay the bills. We're just trying to get things going. Really, in order to be part of Seven Figure Agency and to be part of our intensives, you need to be at least $10,000 a month or more in a specific niche, right? And so kind of moving through stability, $10,000 to $30,000 per month. At that range, we're just making enough money to pay the bills, right? To kind of keep our head above water. And we're trying to stabilize our revenue, trying to stabilize our profitability. Where it starts to get exciting and where the lion's share of our Seven Figure Agency members sit is kind of in this scale stage between $40,000 and $70,000 per month. That's where we have enough revenue to live, to pay our bills, but also to start to invest in team, to start to invest in processes so we can ultimately generate better results and ideally create some freedom. And then really at the top of this is significance. That's where you're 7 figures or more. And really that's the mission. We're trying to move 500 agencies to that 7-figure mark or beyond, because at that level, you get enough money to really live a great life, right? To drive the nice car, to live in the nice house, to take care of the family the way that you want to have more, financial abundance, to do charitable things, to maybe invest in missions if that's something you're passionate about. But you have that additional financial resource. And obviously, you don't get to that level without generating good results for the clients, without being able to retain the clients that you have, and without putting a team in place. So if you're watching this on the recap, I'd love to know kind of where you are at. Are you at startup, stability, scale, or significance? And every time we get together, we track against this, and we track against the progress through these stages of agency success. And I'm really excited to say we now have 68 members that we've worked with as part of Seven Figure Agency that are now running 7-figure digital marketing agencies. And we're really moving quickly towards our goal of 500 agencies. We had 9 this quarter crossed the 7-figure threshold. So that's a massive jump in the right direction. 5 now have moved to multiple 7 figures. Really exciting. Some of the members that were in my initial 7-figure agency program, Danny Barrera is now running a multiple 7-figure agency serving the decorative concrete space. Jim Aline, who came in with Brian Niebler to one of our initial Roadmap Live events when we first started doing this. He was just getting started, I think $7,000 a month of recurring revenue, is now over $168,000 in MRR in the roofing niche, roofing marketers. And Chris Pistorius from Kickstart Dental And I've got the pictures. I should have probably pulled it up, where it was just kind of like the five of us at a conference table, brainstorming, sharing ideas, moving things forward. Chris Pistorius, now multiple seven figures. And again, we've got over 64 of our members that are at $1 million or more in revenue in their business, over $83,000 in monthly recurring revenue, which is amazing to see that momentum. The other thing I was really excited to kind of tabulate as we looked at the seven-figure agency member group was that if we add up all the revenue of all of our seven-figure agency members, it comes out to $123 million in annualized revenue, over $10 million in MRR. That is huge. Like it's literally, seven-figure agency at this point is literally a $100 million mastermind of the very best digital marketing agencies in the country, going every day to war to get our clients, the clients we serve in our various niches, amazing results, tangible measure return on investment. Going to war, really trying to retain the clients that we have by really just knocking it out of the park for them, building our team and developing our team, our account managers, our SEO people, our content creators, our project managers. And when you've got that kind of mind share, you can't help but really see momentum and growth in your digital marketing agency. And so we do this through a couple of things. We do this through training, right? And seven-figure agency, we're known for having great training on how to land clients, deliver results, retain, scale. We've got an amazing portal with all of the details on how to do each of those different things, the steps by steps by steps. We also do it through coaching and mentorship. At this point, we've got over 25 mentors in the program. So it's not just me kind of at the front of the stage or like on the weekly sessions doing everything. We've got all of these members that have come through this program that have gotten good results, that believe in this concept of learn, do, teach, right? Learn how to do something, do it and get a result with it. And then mastery comes from teaching and supporting others, right? It's a very great community that we've developed. And we've got this great group of coaches and mentors that are meeting with the members on an ongoing basis through live group sessions and one-on-one sessions to figure out, like, where are you at right now? Where are you stuck? How do we move you forward? What's the thing you're struggling with right now? And it really rotates from like, we're not getting enough clients, to our calendar's not full enough, to, hey, you know what? We've got clients, but we're not able to get this result. Maybe it's our SEO, maybe it's our pay-per-click, maybe it's the way we're structuring our landing pages, all the way through to, I've got that dialed in, but I'm having problems finding good account managers and retaining those account managers and making sure my quality remains high as I remove myself from the day-to-day. And so it's training, coaching, and ultimately community. I think the most powerful aspect of seven-figure agency, and really what we do with these seven-figure agency intensives, is plug in to the energy of other highly successful people. Really believe you become an average of the 12 people you hang around with most. And we've been very conscious to bring abundance-minded people into the program, people that are driven, people that are making things happen, people that are willing to share, but also really believe in this abundance mentality, that it's not like, hey, I've got this little thing that's working for me, I'm going to keep it to myself. But it's like, hey, as I share this with others, a rising tide raises all of the ships. Really, I believe that every one of the members in the seven-figure agency is the kind of person that when you're around them, instead of being like, oh, get away from me, I need a little bit of a break, it raises your energy. They're positive, they're encouraging, and the kind of people that just spending time around them raises your energy. So I think this is why we're getting the results and the outcome that we do for our members. We've got the training, the coaching, and just a world-class community of the best, most driven digital marketing agencies in the country. And so getting into some of the content and some of the key things we covered at this particular intensive, again, every time we get together 3 times per year, we rotate the topics on landing clients, delivering results, retention, and scale. We went deep on how to land clients with Facebook ads. And really the key insight here, the key thing that we focused on was landing clients with Facebook ads for your niche-focused agency, right? And we've got all niches represented, from home services to legal to professional services to healthcare and everything in between. Really boils down to 3 things. It boils down to targeting, right? Can we target your niche with Facebook ads? It comes to the funnel. So if we're targeting that niche, how can we get them to enter our world and kind of come pre-positioned to buy? And then the third is the actual creative, like what we write in the ad and how we post the ad. And Zach Winsett kind of unpacked exactly what his 3 key strategies are in those areas, and how he's grown a multiple 7-figure agency in the tree service niche by doing just that directly through Facebook ads. It's his number 1 source. And then we had some of our best and most successful members come up on a panel. We had Ryan Davis from Legendary Home Services. We had Danny Barrera from Concrete Marketing Crew. We had Chris Rodriguez from Grow Pro Marketing and Billy Sticker from Cairo Candy, just amazing agencies that are crushing it with Facebook ads. They all came up on a panel and shared, hey, here's how we're doing our targeting. Here's what's working for us. Hey, here's the creative angle with video or with static imagery that's working best. It was amazing, amazing insights and takeaways on this particular session. And then we had a great session with Tony Ricketts from Lawnline Marketing, multiple 7-figure agency serving, would you guess it, lawn care and landscaping businesses. And he went deep on how to onboard your clients to create a world-class experience. The attendees were blown away. This was the highest rated session of the intensive, because he just unpacked exactly how he sets the pace for that client relationship, how he gathers all the usernames and passwords. His approach is, let's do this over 9 meetings, and more like, look, let's sit down, let's hammer out the onboarding so that we can come out like a racehorse and start to generate quick wins for you, start to get this thing off the ground. And he really has a philosophy of, if you're going to do business with us, we're the best at what we do. We know how to generate results in this particular niche. We've got proven results. If you're going to do business with us, follow our methodology, right? Let us lead this process. And if you're not going to do that, if you're going to squawk, if you're going to ask questions, if you're going to kind of, just kind of question everything we do, go find another agency, right? And he's very strong with that. He's got one of the highest retentions in the program. He just has a very dialed in onboarding process. Lots of insights and takeaways. Now, the second half of the day on day 1, we really talked about how to accelerate your growth as an agency by getting on other people's stages, right? There's so many different ways we can land clients, from doing inbound marketing to doing cold outreach to getting in an association into groups to doing marketed lead generations, Facebook ads. But one of the most powerful things you can do is to shift from chasing prospects down to having clients come to you pre-positioned to buy. And so the whole second half of the day, I talked about how to access other people's stages. So in your niche, whatever niche it is, we work with plumbing and HVAC companies. There are people that have events, that run podcasts, that do webinars. And if you can be strategic about getting on their stages, getting on those podcasts, doing webinars for their groups, you can get a much bigger reach, and you can draft on the power of the networks that already exist. And so we went through a deep dive workshop, how to identify those other stages, how to connect with the people that have access to those stages, that run those events, that run those groups, and then how to approach them in a way that creates a great bond where they're like, yeah, I'd love to have you, right? And really, this is one of the big multipliers you can move. Instead of just being one-to-one prospecting people down, you get on other people's stages and you gain access to other people's organizations. Now, after that, we went into what I call presentation mastery, which, let's face it, if you're going to position yourself as the go-to expert in your space, you have to be able to conduct webinars. You have to be able to be on podcasts. Most importantly, when you get the opportunity to speak at the industry event, the industry conference, you have to be able to craft really powerful content, really powerful presentations. And so I unpacked a methodology that I've used to help create great presentations that engage the audience, that get them really to stick with you throughout the course of it and walk away feeling like, wow, that was an amazing session. I need to get more information from that individual. I need to go hire that individual. So this is what we did on day 1. I'd love to know, like, if you're watching this, and I know a lot of you guys are maybe watching this live, or maybe you're watching it after the fact, let me know what of that would be most interesting and impactful for you in your agency. Now, day 2, usually what we do is we shift the focus from landing clients and client attraction to delivery and to scale. Like, how do we actually knock it out of the park for the clients? How do we scale? How do we retain the clients that we have? And so we did a great session with Chris Martinez from Dude Agency. Chris is an amazing systems, process, procedures individual. And he really talked about how to align your people and processes for scale and freedom. Like the reality is, if you're going to grow a multiple seven-figure agency and still have profitability, you can't do it all yourself, right? And so what you have to get really good at is finding good quality people, putting them into the right seats in the organization, and then having processes that you define and your team defines so that you can deliver consistent results for the clients. A lot of times we see agencies, they grow and they scale, they build a team, but that team isn't best in class. They're not clear on what their role is. They don't have any real clear expectations as far as how much time should be invested. And the agency owner winds up stressed out. Like, man, I've got this team, but they're not delivering the level of quality that I would when I was doing this myself. Clients are starting to complain about the results. And so they go back and get their hands dirty and have to go take over for that team again anyways. So it's really important as you grow and as you scale, you're really clear on how to build that team structure and how to build those processes so that you can hand it off and ideally get better results than when you were completely involved in that on a day-to-day basis. We talked a lot about profitable onboarding. Ben McAdam is our profitability coach, right? I'm a big believer that revenue is vanity and profit is sanity, right? And as agency owners, sometimes we just think about our MRR. We just think about how much revenue we generated. The reality is, if you don't have good financial controls in place, you're not going to be very profitable. And you're going to be doing a lot of work chasing your tail without having much to show for it. And so we try and get a little bit of financial mastery baked into each one of these intensive. And we had a very powerful thought process around onboarding. The way that you kick off a client is super important, but usually the most expensive aspect of our programs, we think about websites and SEO and pay-per-click and content and graphics design, is really heavy on the front end. And with inflation the way that it is, the cost to hire people to do this work is going up. Some of the cost of the tools that we use to do these services is going up. So you really want to be conscious of, what does it truly cost me to launch a client? What do I cost month 1, month 2, month 3? And is your pricing out of the gates profitable? Because it's not. That's going to negatively impact your growth. It's going to negatively impact your ability to take things to the next level as quickly and efficiently as possible. And so those were the main things we talked about on day 2. And then in the afternoon, one of everybody in the program's favorite parts of the day is all right, we filled our head with new information and new insights. Let's mastermind a little bit. Let's get clear on the thing that we're stuck on, and knowing that we've got a world-class peer group of other agencies that are facing similar challenges or have already solved some of the things you're absolutely going to be facing in your business. We spend a good hour and a half mastermind as a group. Okay, so here's where I'm stuck. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And usually in that period of time, everybody in the room gets their one big issue that they're trying to solve for right now solved, either the idea that they need, the resource that they need, or the insight that they need in order to really break through to the next level. And then we always wrap up our seven-figure agency member intensives with an implementation roadmap, right? The one thing I always hated when going to these types of events and conferences is I wind up with a head full of information and notes, but no action plan. So I go back to work on Monday, and it's like, hey guys, I got all this stuff, but I've also got all the clients that were reaching out, all the questions that came up, and all of the team concerns that happened. I don't actually have anything that I can implement on. And so this implementation roadmap is really to get clear. It's like, here's where we're at right now. Here's where we're going to be the next time we get together, because we get together every 3 times per year, and our next one's going to be in March. If this is where we are right now, and this is where we want to be by March, what's the goal? How many clients? How much recurring revenue? What are we going to do to celebrate that? And what's the action plan? Out of everything we covered here over the last 2 days, what are the 3 things you're actually going to implement? And what are the other 2 projects you've already got in the works that you're going to focus on? And then we share that with the coaches. We share that with a buddy. And we make sure that we leave the intensive super clear on where we're headed. And so what this winds up doing is a couple of things, right? And I'd love to know in the comments, like, you're thinking about this intensive and kind of this 2-day experience, what would have been most useful for you? What would have you really loved to be a fly on the wall potentially to participate in? But what this does, and the reason it's so powerful, is we get together and we get new ideas, and the new ideas are powerful. But the most important thing is the energy, right? It's the conversations that happen at dinner. It's the conversations that happen between the sessions the relationships that are developed that really inspire us and fill us with energy to move forward faster. And we wind up really, really clear with something to sprint towards for the next time we get together. And so that's it. Like, that's what we covered at this last intensive. These were some of the insights and takeaways. If this is something you'd like to learn more about, and maybe you'd like to plug in and have a world-class peer group of other successful agencies that you can bounce ideas against, that you can mastermind with, that you can learn from, just type intensive in the comments or shoot me a personal message and we'll get you some details. Again, we get together 3 times per year. The next one that's coming up is in March. And of course, as a community, we've got things going on every single week in the 7-Figure Agency virtually, where we're sharing ideas, we're sharing new resources, and we're supporting each other to the next level. So hopefully this has been helpful. If you have any questions or if there's anything here that really stood out to you that you'd like to learn more about, post in the comments or shoot me a personal message, and look forward to talking with you soon.